What's up, guys? It's John with National Sports Entertainment, and I just wanted to go into tonight's games for the NBA. Hockey, I didn't have like I said, we're going to look into the NBA, college, and as far as the NBA, just not a ton of plays, but we're going to play a couple. So, I do like the Flames to cover the Stars, and you can see we have all of our NBA plays too. So if you're in a rush, you could just go ahead and screenshot this. But I'm going to go into the games and why I like them. And there's a reason I have some set up the way I do. So this will be a leg one. Flames just not great against the spread. Public typically going to be fading. And when I last checked, again, it might be different. I was getting plus 175. So when I locked, so you're probably going to be getting somewhere around that for the cover. So minus goal and a half. Canucks Kings, I like that one to go under. Again, these are all metrics. Teams that are really good on the over, really good on the under, etc. Okay. And this is literally, again, it's very tedious, but you can imagine how time consuming it is for me. But I do this so it's all in live time for you guys, and I put it in the Discord too if you're new to the channel. Just everything's been proven. But so yeah, if I see a line, I put it in there. It's going to be leg one, meaning one unit if you're new. That's going to be for even odds, of course. And then, like I had said, the other hockey ones were actually good. Like I said, I went over in my last video. I had gone into, I would have, if I had to, I would have chosen the over on this one. So that wouldn't have worked out. So like I said in my last video, there's certain ones where I just don't play them for a reason. You know, I don't. The NBA, I mentioned I would have picked the Knicks if pressed. So again, we would have split. I just wasn't going to race to pick them, but we are going to play the remainder of the NBA games. Honestly, don't even know how we're doing in college. Let's check. I think most of our games are later, but I think we did have one go final, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so we got a healthy win there. San Diego State covered very easily. There we go. We'll take that W. Again, I didn't think Furman. I think they're going to pick one team. If they have a team advance, they're going to pick one. They're not going to have a bunch of teams do it. They're going to have one team go several rounds. And I just feel like that designation might be for Princeton. That's why I chose them in my last video. So that was just my logic. So anyway, going into the NBA games, it's the same type of logic. It's matchups, it's narratives, and where I think the public's going to be at. So, again, if you saw my picks that when I just had them up, you could pause it, whatever. But if you want the rhyme and the reason, this is why. Pacers, 76ers. I like the Sixers for the cover. I think they continue to establish their dominance, and I think the Pacers stay just kind of behind like I said, I've been saying this for a while. I think the Bulls and the Wizards, and we're going to see tonight if it's true, I think they're going to establish themselves higher than the Pacers and eventually the Raptors. And MJ's two teams are going to be the 9 and 10. That's why I'm so hot on the Wizards and Bulls. Also because they have more draws. So I think the Raptors could, do it, but Pacers I'm just not too sold on. And a loss does not knock them out of the picture. They're only a few games out. It's not like the Magic who need to go on a crazy streak. So I think Sixers here for the cover, and I think the line's about right. Wolves, Raptors, this is an interesting one, but I went with the Raptors. I think we know they're winning. Again, I think I've been saying this too. I had the wrong team. I had the Kings as the one that were going to get flipped out slowly. I had the Kings and Jazz to be specific. It's changed to the Wolves and Jazz now. But I think they get slowly flipped out, and we see teams like the Blazers, teams like the Thunder start picking up steam, and we just see the Wolves get phased out there. I actually have, again, it's not much different. My playoff prediction, I just go into, it's a bracket where I went into every game. Their schedule is ugly. They can't explain away the Wolves winning some of these games. Edwards is out for the season. I think they gave it away. So I like the Raptors a lot. And with the 10 points, I think the people are still going to be thinking, well, the Wolves are still kind of deep. They without Edwards, they almost were able to pull it off yesterday with the Bulls. So I think people take the Wolves hard and the Raptors slam them. Then we got the Kings, Wizards, and sketchy line. I think the Kings should be a bigger favorite here. So 3 points, and again, the fact that I do think the Wizards need a win. Especially since the Raptors are most definitely winning, I think it just makes sense. Same logic with the Bulls. Normally, I'd be all over the Heat because the Heat are terrible against the spread, and you know how that logic goes. But they've picked up enough wins where they're actually not. Again, they're nowhere near historical norms now, or being outside of historical norms now. So now you have Caruso being out make a difference, but I just think it's going to be one where more people are going to be on the Heat here. And again, the Bulls need this win. They absolutely need it for it to be entertaining, whereas the Heat don't. Then we got Warriors, Grizzlies. I like the Grizzlies. They're at home. I think they want to hammer home the narrative. This team is going to, A, the Warriors suck on the road. It doesn't matter if Ja's out. It doesn't matter who's out. And B, the Grizzlies are this rugged team that they're going to win because of things like offensive rebounds, grittiness, and good defense. And they always like to portray teams a certain way, and that's how the Grizzlies are portrayed, a good unity, and a unified front. So I think the Grizzlies upset, and it's a good one because money's got to be on the Warriors. And then we got Celtics Jazz, and I like the Celtics to cover. It is kind of light, so then you wonder, is it going to be a win, no cover? Is it going to be an upset? It could be. I just think, again, I know it takes a lot of wins. I have this weird feeling the Celtics are going to get the 60 wins. Maybe they don't. Obviously, they would need to win out. We've seen much crazier things, though, so we'll see what happens. But either way, I think the Celtics have to look strong. I think they want to establish the East, and Raptors playing the Wolves. We got the Wizards playing the Kings, Celtics playing the Jazz. Magic are sticking with the Clippers, and the Knicks beat the Nuggets. I think they want to establish the East, like, hey, these guys, they're not just to be walked over by teams like the Suns, the Mavericks, teams that people believe the league in the West are way better than the East. I think that's the consensus. The West is just the better conference. So, with that being said, those are all of our picks, and here's the fun part. But no, like I said when I was here earlier, if you saw it, then you know the drill here. Raptors cover Timberwolves is a leg 2. So we just go to the last leg 1 we lost, which was the Pelicans Rockets, and plug it in. Okay. All of our college plays, like I said, were leg 1s today. I am playing the Raptors to cover the Timberwolves here as a leg 2 as well. So for the Spurs not winning yesterday, we'll make that our leg 2. And then I like the Bulls as a leg 2. Like I said, I think the Bulls and the Wizards, I think they just need to win way more. And since we essentially know the Raptors are winning, I don't see them losing that game because I don't see people slamming the Raptors money line. I feel like, and I don't think people are going to slam the money line either way. So if anything, they're going to be slamming where they get positive odds and fading the Raptors. So I just do like the Raptors, like I said, to cover. I don't think people are going to be... I think they're going to look at it and say, again, well, there's a good chance that the Wolves can win. They hung with the Bulls, who are basically same tier team as the Raptors, and they almost won. They didn't have Edwards for most of that game. So, in the end, Gobert fouled out. So, with all that, I think there's a really good... I don't see the public taking the Raptors minus 10. Then we got the Grizz, like I said, looks ugly. I don't know why. Grizz, no Ja Morant. Warriors look like they're getting into kind of a zone. Outside of sucking on the road, there's no reason I could see people in an even matchup not taking the Warriors. And then we only have one leg 3 just because there's no need to rush them. You can see we have a ton of sequences. These are all closed sequences, by the way. I closed all these sequences. Obviously, the ones over the last day or 2 are the only ones we haven't. So now we got Wizards cover Kings. That's my favorite play. It's a combination of the fact that the Kings don't need the win. The Wizards really do need this win. And I think it's a sketchy line. I think minus 3, people are going to be all over the money line and all over the spread. So I'm going to take the points to be safe. Kings have burned me a lot this year, so you might say, why would you be doing a leg 3 with the Kings involved? Well, again, it's all about just current reads and what I believe. So I try not to let, past outside of making assessments to help with the future. I don't like to just let if I picked, the Kings have not been great. I like as far as it seems like they do the opposite of what I pick. But tonight I strongly believe it makes not much sense for them to win the game or especially just cover because I think the Wizards are not going to have the money on them that the Kings are going to have on them. So, yeah, I think it's one of the best traps. We are 5. We've won our last 5 leg threes. Again, I don't think it's a coincidence that, with our leg threes, we do exceptionally well. I try and save matchups that, sometimes I'll wait 4 or 5 days before playing a leg three because I don't want to just rush it. So with all these games, we have 16 matchups today. 14 because, again, if you saw my video and played the Knicks, that's fine. But I didn't officially, lock it in. I just said gun to head, I'd go Knicks. But if you got that, that's cool. But I think we do go to here. College, we still have a bunch of games open. We hit our only one that played so far, though. And again, for hockey, nothing crazy. I just think that we're going to play in the metrics. I like the Flames cover here. I think it's a good play. I like the Canucks to go under. Canucks Kings to go under. And we'll do one more. We'll do Panthers cover Devils. I like the odds, and I know the Panthers don't have a great cover rate. So Panthers cover Devils. And again, there's a healthy pretty healthy hockey schedule today, so I'll make it a leg 2. There's only like 3 or 4 games on a break-even game where the Panthers are slight favorites, literally at minus 110, so it's like dead even, which pays $225, by the way. I just know that because that's, you make enough hockey plays, It depends on your book. It might be off by 5, but right around 220, 225 when it's a dead even game. So, of course, they're not going to pay out that ridiculously often, but you'd be surprised how many times we got right around 200, 170, 160, 165, 225 we got. So we got 200, and the Flames, you can see, have rewarded us more than any other team in here. So I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but I think the Flames and Panthers combo, I think we definitely split them, and that would be cool. And we have 2 college ones going too. Princeton win and the Penn State. I went over that in my last video. So some plus odds in action. Let's hope they come through. Panthers cover Devils. All we just do for that one is if a leg 1 misses because it's at 6. Okay, you know what? So I'll just plug it in for a current leg 2. For a lot of these, if they're later games, what I was going to say is, say you have a 7 o'clock game and it's a leg 2, and you have a 10 o'clock game and it's a leg 3. Well, you could just obviously play the 7 o'clock as a leg 2, see how it goes. If it wins, you're good. If it loses, then obviously you play the 10 o'clock as a leg 3 for that. But since right now there's no open, it's going to be at 6 o'clock. There's going to be no games that finalize before that. I'll just plug it in for an open leg 1. And you can see they're closing quickly every day. We're literally this at the beginning. What I mean by that is this is the beginning of when I started this playlist right here. On 12/27, and we're up more than 123 units now. That was as of the 12th, but yeah, it's just simple money management metrics, fading public. A lot of things go into account, but we've made a lot of plays, and yeah, I think we do well. I just wanted to get that last one in there for you guys because I think it's a good one for a leg 2 to give a try. So I think that we have a good shot, like I said, of with all these in action, we're gonna get some plus odds. You see the Rangers are only minus 145. Toronto's only minus 135. So Panthers here minus 120. Definitely, I think is going to have a good shot at hitting. Doesn't mean it's a guarantee, but not great against the spread. So I can see people taking the Devils money line pretty hard. So we might get the 1-point goal win, but I think there's a good chance we get the cover. So that's all of our plays. I don't like to make it long, but I'd rather go into a little more detail for 3 to 5 minutes extra, and you have all the right plays for sure, than, just kind of rush through it, and then maybe you miss a play. And since I do my system very methodically, I like it where you can tail, exactly. So that's all of our plays. Got some hockey, and we got a lot in basketball between college and the NBA. So take care and happy earnings.